So, Brian,
Yes, Reggie.
I fell last Sunday.
You fell?
I took a tumble.
Dude, that's going around. I was doing the job today, and one of the people at the job fell.
I was outside I was like getting ready to clean the hot tub and all this stuff. And I'm like walking around and
Did you fall in the hot
slipped.
tub?
No.
Okay.
Well, I was just like, we were going to drain it and all this stuff. And it's that time. And so I walk out there and I'm on this little pathway we have and I just fell, and it's kind of raised pathway over top of this. And I fell right off of it, dude. And I landed hard. And I really thought I broke something, but like my whole like palm over here was like black and blue,
Did you feel that like weird vibration when you hit the ground? Like you were like, am I all right? Is everything going to be okay? You start doing like a systems check.
Yeah. I was like, okay, I'm breathing. Okay. My shin hurts like a mug. I must have tore some skin off.
I'm not bleeding terribly or profusely.
Are my hips still in the right place?
Yeah.
It was all that stuff. And then I got myself up and I'm like, oh my, this is not how I'm supposed to be. So I like waddle my way into the house.
So roster of injuries?
It was I just scraped like my shin pretty much. All the skin was off of the front of my shin.
So you just basically shaved all the skin off your shin?
Yeah, I didn't. I thought my knee, because I thought I'd really hurt it, but it was just a temporary thing. So it only was
probably just stretched it
something. And then this was my palm though was the worst. That's where I caught myself, I guess.
Yeah.
And I didn't break anything. But dude, that was all kinds of black and blue, bro. It was crazy. Yeah. But and I couldn't grip anything for a while with my left hand. Like it was crazy, because it all swelled up real big. Anyway, it was just a reminder of that I'm at the age where I should not fall.
Well, they say after the age of 40 that it just becomes more and more dangerous with every passing year to take a fall.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
And it's really my fault too, because I've had this like janky pathway out to my hot tub for like ever that I've been meaning to like
clear off and
just do something with, make something better, and I just never did. So
you just took a funky spill.
Oh yeah, man. I didn't work out like I was supposed to this week. And all this stuff. I did ride the bike. I did do that.
No, that's true.
So I did do that this week, but it's just different stimulus than Anyway,
well, read a True Tide check-in. It's very strange, Reggie. My experience with this is really different than yours. And here's why I say that. All the noise is off.
But you're just at the beginning dose.
I'm down 19 pounds in 4 weeks.
Yeah, you wait.
I have no anxiety. I have an unbelievable capability right now to concentrate on multiple things at the same time. I have a very quick snap ability to come into focus. Now I'm not saying that this is what'll happen for everybody. I'm just saying this is what's happening for me. I'm sleeping better. I'm feeling less physical pain, like from overall in my body. It's really strange, man. Like I'm only on week 4. Like I've got 8 more weeks to go. And I'm like,
there's a huge difference in 4 weeks and 8 weeks in that beginning dose versus where you end up.
Well, I'm not accelerating my dose more than 1 milligram at a time. So I started off with 3. I'm now 4, and I'm not going above 8.
Wait, okay.
Because everything that I read is 8 is where people start to come off the rails and have problems.
Well, see, that's probably true. 7.5 was my last dose that was okay before I went to the 10. And that was a different drug than yours. But that was different.
But for me, like I'm at 4 right now and feel great. I'm a little tired because I don't have any desire to really like snack on anything, or like I eat regularly.
Well, yeah.
All that's gone, right? But I'm not suffering in any way, right? Like I'm just, like you just get eat a little less calories so you get tired a little faster. You got a little less energy to run on, right? So, but I can honestly say that I feel like it might be good for me to kind of reset everything back to level and maybe, but yeah, everything I've read, this is once you go past 8 milligrams, the crap hits the fan. Like once you pass 8, it comes the erratic behavior, the inability to focus, the food, what they call food rejection, which is when you don't want any food at all. Like you don't want to eat at all, right? Like you're literally going on a dangerously low amount of calories.
Right.
It's almost like taking a very high dose of Adderall. And I'm like, no. I'm like, so I'm not going to go past 8. Actually, I'm not going to go past 7. I'm going to stop at 7. I'm just going to climb to 7, and then I'm going to maintain at 7 until the 12 weeks is over. And then I'm going to see how I feel after that. But I mean, right now I'm stunned at how good I feel.
Dude, I mean, I wouldn't be stunned because I mean, that's kind of what you would expect. It's just when you get to the higher doses, but I'm glad you're not freaking out.
Yeah. Cause I was very concerned about that at first. Cause after what you went through, I was like, bruh.
No, dude, don't do that. Well, I mean, and I'm on a GLP-1 now, just because after my prednisone thing with the whatever. So now I'm trying to get my baseline back down, and I did not want to go back on the.
Were you on Wegovy?
No,
Which one were you on? Which one were you on the first time?
Mounjaro.
You were on Mounjaro. Okay.
Yeah. And now I'm on Foundeo. Okay, which is a semaglutide.
Is it a double or a triple antagonist?
I have no idea.
Because the semaglutide is a triple antagonist. Or I'm sorry, the retatrutide is a triple antagonist.
Yeah, this is
I know that Mounjaro is a double antagonist.
It's single.
So this is a single antagonist.
Single.
That might be better for you, man.
It doesn't have the GIP stuff that the Mounjaro or your retatrutide does, which is what really we're guessing that's what that caused my issues. So we're doing that one to lower that. But it's at the very beginning dose. I told the doc I was taking this really slow. So like, they say 4 weeks, then you go up. I'm taking probably 6 weeks in each just to make sure. But anyway, unfortunately my whole goal of like being on zero medicine isn't going to work. Well, even with me eating like keto and cardio or whatever.
It may in time. You just need to get to that. I think what you probably would have been there with the Mounjaro if your system wouldn't went haywire.
Oh, the Mounjaro fixed everything.
Yeah.
Like with my glucose stuff, like it was fine. Like, and I didn't have to do anything. Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So yeah, Mounjaro did what that, right? It solved it helped the diabetes stuff and all that crap and whatever. But no. It wrecked my.
Well, have you thought about doing like just like a straight dose, like a 5 milligram dose, and just trying to stay on that for a while and see how long you can take that out?
I don't know. I don't think I ever want to go back to anything like that.
I'm telling you, man. I did probably a year's worth of research on retatrutide before I took it, and I knew I couldn't get it from a pharmacy. I knew I couldn't get it from a doctor. I was going to have to get it. Well, you really can't. They can suggest you go to a compounding pharmacy and tell you that you can buy it there, but they can't prescribe it to you because it's not been FDA approved, which I'm not sure that means a whole lot anyway. But I was very concerned. So I started off with a very low dose. I think it was 3 milligrams was my low dose. And I did that. And it was like somebody flipped a switch, man. Like I went to bed that night after taking that shot, woke up the next morning, and it was all turned off. And I was like, what in the name of Pete, Lincoln, Julie is going on? Like, what is happening? That's funny. Here? But, I mean, I got to say, I feel good. I physically, I feel better than I felt in a long time. Mentally, I'm running a lot sharper than I was. Like, it's amazing how much crap you fog your mind up with when you're doing that. It's amazing how much junk is in your head all the time that you're fighting against. Dude, my spirituality, my studies, my biblical studies, all that stuff, way sharper, way clearer understanding, way deeper I'm going. Like, it's just nuts.
It's good.
I'm like, this should be how we
Everyone
normally
should
are.
take this.
No, but I'm just saying isn't that how we should normally be?
I don't know, man. I think you make it as complex or as little as you want, and your brain works different ways. And everybody's brain chemistry is different anyway, too.
Well, but I also think that there's something to be said for the amount of incoming stimulus that we allow in that causes a lot of interference.
Well, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like my phone, like when I get home, I just put it down. Like I have no want or need to surf the internet. I have no want or need to go check Facebook, Instagram. I just go home and put my phone face down, and I usually don't look at it until I get up the next morning, or unless I'm doing this.
I don't either. I mean,
it's become a tool.
Yeah, I don't doom scroll or none of that stuff.
I don't really doom scroll either, but like I'll go in and see if anybody sent me any private messages.
I don't do that.
I'll go to Instagram because I got one guy I like to follow on there because he's a really good cook and he's smoker. He's like smoking meats, and I like to watch his different things. He's got a little bit longer form video on there. I really like that. But I don't really do, like, to me now, like I just want it to be quiet when I'm at home. Like, let's just chill out and relax. And
speaking of that,
okay.
So now Henry Cavill is coming into my Instagram feed every once in a while. You know why?
Okay, so I gotta ask a question before we get into this. How do we go from chilling at home to Henry Cavill?
Because you just talked about cooking and everything.
Okay, cool. Rock and roll. Let me see it. Lay it on me.
He bought a smoker. It had now started like this whole, trying to learn how to do the smoking thing with his big offset smoker he just bought. Yeah. So now that shows up in my feed because I look at all that stuff all the time. So now I got Henry Cavill going and, showing up.
You got Henry Cavill smoking meats in your feed.
Yeah, talking about how he did this and he did that. And, he's looking for the next time when he could do this. I mean, it's kind of funny.
How many people can say they've got the Man of Steel smoking meats in his Instagram feed?
Well, I'm just saying, like, not he's not DM me or anything.
No.
Saying,
but I'm just like, that's cool.
It just showed up as, the algorithm said, oh, this guy over here is.
Oh, but dude,
let's put him in the feed.
Okay, I told you I was going to smoke like boneless chicken thighs, right?
Yeah.
So I did. Mm-hmm. And I got into this guy I follow who smokes meats, and he had a little video on how to smoke boneless chicken thighs. And he said, first 2 hours, low heat. He said, get that fat to start to melt. And then he said, crank your heat up about another 40 degrees in the second 2 hours. And he said, just lay it on there. And he said, what'll happen is the fat will melt and create like this delicious crust around the edge of the chicken.
That's true.
And he was so right. Like I could have ate all of that chicken. Like it was that good. And all I put on it was a little bit of real garlic, like minced garlic and some salt and pepper. And it was fantastic.
Yeah, dude.
Like it shocked me how like a not top tier meat can become a top tier meat if you smoke it the right way.
Well, yeah, I mean, the whole idea is like every piece of meat has only got so much smoke they can take.
Yeah.
And then after that, you just want to cook it in that window where it's not going to get dry.
Yeah.
And the fat will render. That's really what you're doing. So it's like trying to figure that window out. Where is it this? Because it's not cooking or it's not smoking anymore. It's kind of like you just bump it up to whatever. And to get that fat to render, to get everything juicy and tender in the temperature you want. So,
dude, I'm really, really enjoying smoking meats.
No, it's not hard.
It's not hard, but it's challenging because you can go through different meats. Like I've got some top sirloin and I got a good deal on it at the store. Got like 8 of them. And I'm thinking about for like prepping meals. Think about for firing up the smoker and throwing all those top sirloins on there. But I'm really kind of weirded out about smoking steak. And I don't know exactly what to do.
I think you can reverse sear the steak like that and probably be okay.
Meaning?
Like sear it. Well, but then you lose the smoke. So I guess that might not work either. I know that when I do a picanha piece of meat, right? I think I tried it both ways and it really didn't, I don't know. Reverse searing means you like sear it in like a cast iron skillet real hot first, and then you put it on the smoker. I think I preferred it the other way though, if I'm remembering it right. I can't remember. I've done it like 3 or 4 times, different. But the smoke really can't penetrate a seared piece of meat though, is what is what I was thinking. But
I feel like you close off some of the fibers when you.
But there is a reverse sear steak, though. I mean, that's what they do sometimes.
Okay.
With these things, but anyway, I don't know if I would do that, man, because you don't need the steak to be like Well, okay, here's the thing: you can put steak over charcoal, right?
Yeah,
and it's just like grilling it.
Yeah,
and that gets that smoky flavor in there, but it's not too much. I think with steak, you probably have that problem, maybe when
too much smoke. Because steak will absorb. From what I understand, it will absorb the crap.
It's just a piece of meat rather than a full.
Yeah.
Muscle.
So if I had like a whole sirloin uncut, that'd probably be easier to smoke than just individual steaks.
Then you're kind of smoking a prime rib.
Yeah. In a way, yeah.
That's different.
That makes sense. That does make sense. Because the one thing I did notice about like the chicken thighs they're smaller pieces, so you have to kind of keep an eye on them. Because everything I watched and read said that they can over smoke pretty quickly and they get really dry.
Yes.
So you have to kind of, and one guy, and I did it. He said, just marinate them before you put them on there, and then pat them dry. Just because you pat them dry doesn't mean you pull out the outside vinegar and the things that help open up the proteins. He goes, and then smoke them. He goes, because if you just throw them on there, he says, if the fibers are tight, he says they can over smoke and get really tough. So yeah, I was like, I don't know, man. I've become a dude that likes to smoke meats.
Yeah, I mean, chicken or turkey is best if you can brine it overnight before you put them on. Yeah. The brining is awesome.
What brine do you use?
Man, there's some ready-made one that I found that worked better than the stuff I was putting together myself, and it was, but I can't remember. It was on Amazon. It's I can't remember. I'll find it. Cool. Anyway, but I use it all the time.
Anyway, so we're here today to talk about a veritable computer genius that I've met.
Oh Lord,
he's the smartest man I know.
Oh, good.
He's sharply intelligent. He's very handsome with his giant beard.
Oh Lord. You laying this on a little
really
silly.
Smoke a brisket. But anyway, he created an app, and the app is actually very cool. I've messed around with it just because I didn't want to be like, "Durr." And it's called Line Forge, and it's creator and propagator is my friend Reggie.
Well, so this was the first release of my software company, Red Beard Foundry, right? It's kind of hinted at that we've said along the way here a little bit here and there, but it was launched on, and I guess let's just say it was submitted to the Apple Store a while ago, and it was published on Wednesday, the 29th. So it's been up there for a couple days. I've been doing all the stuff with, making sure AdMob, Google's ads and all that stuff and the Apple search optimizations. And I mean, dude, there's just a bunch of stuff to do, but that's what I did was, that's what I've been doing. It's just working on the launch and getting it rolling, running through all the postings of the social medias. Red Beard Foundry has accounts on pretty much everything. So I just went through it's still in the phase where I'm putting out posts and stuff. You don't want to go blasting everything out in one fell swoop because that algorithms see that as differently than if you space it out for some reason, especially on subreddits and stuff.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So what is it, Reggie, and who's it for?
Okay. So Line Forge, it's a number link puzzle. Number link being a puzzle where you have a grid that could be certain dimensions, and you have endpoints, and you have to fill the hole in grid and connect the endpoints with each other without crossing each other and take up all the space. Okay. So it's really for anybody who likes puzzle stuff, and it's more like you want to think about a spatial reasoning type of thing, rather than like some of the other things. It's massive in scope as far as the number of puzzles.
Yeah. How many? What do you think?
I right now have there's over 19,000 puzzles
Wow.
in my catalog
That
are available.
Monster amount of puzzles, dude.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what made you decide to do this, man? Like,
Okay.
what made you? Where in your like laboratory of computer genius did you say it's time, Reginald, for you to make a game for all the world to see?
Well, I thoroughly enjoy the line puzzle genre of things. Like I have a few of them. I should say I have like 2 of them on my phone, right? And I play them all the time. And I was, but there's certain things that bother me about them that I didn't like too much. And so I was developing the main app I'm doing, the fitness app we've talked about, right? That's where I started, actually.
Really looking forward to that one. I will use that one a lot.
So that one was started, and then I realized, like, I was like, you know what? I had this idea, like, I wonder if I could create my own puzzle game, just because, like, I really like this genre. I think there's some other things I want to do, and so I did some market research and all this kind of stuff, and like, well, yeah, that's viable. And it gave me a way to do something that was simpler than the fitness app, to go through the entire process of like submitting and app reviews and all the scenario here, kind of to know what I'm doing better for the fitness app when I'm doing that, right?
Okay.
So that's why it came up. It's just because I like the genre. There was it was open territory. Really, because you have a ton of these, what they call number link puzzles on there, but a lot of it's like AI, just garbage stuff that people just like renamed and recolored, and it's kind of dumb.
Yeah.
And so, but there's a bunch of them on there, but there's not a lot of good ones. Anyway, so the point being is that the market was pretty much there that I thought, well, this might be cool and it might actually come to think, but there was no thought of like, ooh, I'm going to make $1 million out of this puzzle game.
Well, I hope you do.
Well, I mean, hoping one, but whatever. I'm just saying, like it was really an exercise
for you to learn how the system
go through the whole process from start to finish before I went to other things.
So to dig a little deeper, you said that there were certain things about existing line puzzle games that you didn't like. What are those things that you kind of overcame and did better in your game?
Well, there's some of them that the way you progress in them is like you have to do or like they do like puzzle packs and stuff. And the only way to open up another puzzle pack is if you get through one of the other ones. So, and these puzzle packs would maybe start at like a 5x5 grid, and then they build up from there. So meaning that if you get a pack done and then you open up another pack, well, then you just got done like solving their hard puzzles, right? And then you got to start from beginning again with a new pack. So then you're like, it's really stupid. Like you work all the way up to doing these big puzzles and stuff and getting them finished, and that's what you want to do because that's what you're playing.
That's the point.
And then you get a new pack, and then you got to go all the way back to like a really small. I hated that.
Yeah. So yours is just progresses all the way through.
There's no progression. Let me say that. Really, you have a daily streak because there's a daily puzzle. There's a weekly puzzle challenge, right? The weekly puzzle challenges are like the huge puzzles.
Yeah.
You know, those are like the bigger grids and stuff that they're going to take a while. So you get streaks and stuff, and the plan for like the version 2 or whatever is to kind of have leaderboards and, you know, times and, you know, whatever. There's some other things that I don't really have all that lined out yet, but I've started working on some of it. So that'll come. But my Line Forge is really where the puzzles are open. Like you can literally go and play any one of the puzzles that are there that aren't weekly puzzles anyway. They're just there. So you can filter by what grid geometry you want. You can say, I want this rectangle, I want this square, or whatever. I want this. And you can literally go through there and play any of them right now. There's no, like, it's just open for you to go through there.
That's cool. Like you can pick your challenge and you just pick your puzzle.
That's right.
See, that's cool because most games that come on a phone, either like you said, you got to do a whole bunch of stuff and then get bounced back, or to get to the next thing, it's going to cost you a bunch of money. That's a little bit more difficult, right?
Yep.
Because then you got people, you know, blowing their paycheck on $2 digit packs and things like that. So So what was the hardest part of it? I mean, and what was the part of it that you expected? I mean, was it as hard as you expected? And were there things that were much harder than you expected and much easier than you expected?
Well, okay, I'll say the whole process was much easier than I expected.
Okay.
And it took me 6 months and a day from the absolute start, when I created the folder on my Mac to start doing the work.
Yeah.
1 month and a day to release.
Okay.
To shipping, right? 6 months, which is really fast for anything to ship. So that's what is, I think it's funny. And I could knock off probably 2 months of that just because of stuff that I had to develop from a company standpoint to support things. Yeah. So, one of the most difficult parts about it was originally I was developing my own puzzle generator.
Okay.
Which is, I was working on how to procedurally, or not even procedurally, but how to get these puzzles to generate, to manifest into things I wanted that were cool and solvable. And I spent there's actually research on and academic work on puzzles and all that kind of stuff, mm-hmm. and how to do those and everything else. So I had to read a lot, I had to study a lot about who said what about this and how that matters, and psychologically this and that, and what makes a good puzzle versus a bad puzzle, blah, blah, blah. And I was going through all kinds of them, and it was and it just took forever, and they weren't producing what it was, and I kept fooling with it. And then there's an open source version of the NumberLink puzzle generator that is already out there on by Thomas All, and found that, and I was like, well, I'll just try it. I've been working on this forever and I haven't done. So I forked his project off and put it in private on my own, and then to look at it, maybe tweak things a little bit. But that changed everything. And then I was able just to roll with the puzzles. And then I had the other part about it too that people don't understand is that when you do have a game or something with puzzles or something like that, where you have you got to know what you've shipped or what you haven't. You don't want to just keep delivering later on more puzzles, but yet you've duplicated them, right? Yeah. So I had to figure out a whole catalog system and how to take it from generator through solving, through ingestion into my catalog, to labeling it, whether it was shipped or not or whatever, and what version. So all of that was kind of the most difficult stuff versus, not. And, the part that took a little, not as long, but like me I got stuck on the music for it for a minute, just because of course I'm a musician. So like that was something I could see that. I got stuck on, but that wasn't really anybody but me doing that. So, yeah.
So when I hear app creators talk about creating apps, and in us preparing for this last night, I went and did some research on app creators, and I do have a question. Like every app creator kept saying, well, I got to this one port and I just fought to get past this. Like it just kept not doing what I wanted it to do. It kept breaking. Like, so what part broke for you, and how did you solve it?
You got to understand though, this is early in my AI journey too. When I first started this, right? I'm using AI tools to help me code these things and do and kind of that stuff, like everybody does now. But AI didn't start where it is today. Yeah. So one of the most frustrating and irritating thing was just learning how to use AI and make it do what I want to do, and not just royally screw things up after it had already screwed things up. You know what I mean? Like
that's a way to put it.
It was. I mean, like I learned the hard way. Thankfully, I have enough experience to know to always back up your work, and so I mean, there's tons of times that was really frustrating, because we're talking about January, and you're just doing stuff, and then I just want to throw Claude. I just want to find him and just wring his neck, because he just would screwed up an entire, branch or something I was working on, or a feature, or just wouldn't get it or something. I mean, it's just so frustrating. But eventually you figure out how to, that was part of the prompt engineering process, to figure that out and how to get things spec'd right and designed right and everything. So yeah, that was probably my most, I want to pull my beard out kind of thing with flicking with all these tools and everything. And it wasn't just Claude. I won't say that too, because I tried. I mean, there's basically all of them. I don't want to say absolutely all of them, but I mean, good God, I tried a lot of them and paid for a lot of them just to see if that made any difference.
Yeah. So on a human level, like, what did it cost you? Like time, effort, family time, personal time. What did it take from you, in your opinion, for you to invest in this and make it happen?
Well, I'm still pretty diligent about making sure I'm around for the family.
Yeah.
But, there have been things that got shifted or got put here or there. I mean, for instance, the yard.
Yeah.
I probably haven't cut my grass in like 6 weeks, dude. I mean, I just have, I haven't had time.
Yeah.
I went out the other day actually with the weed eater, first time in a long time, but I didn't get a chance to finish because I had stuff to do.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'd say it's more the tasks I had that were, or my responsibilities or something that, had to be pushed aside that weren't like necessary, but they're things I did. Yeah. Right. The second thing was like, because of my priority with, God, family, church, all that kind of stuff, I didn't allow the work to interfere with that stuff. However, there were times when I'd cut things short, or I didn't, would normally have done this or that, but I didn't because I had stuff to do.
Yeah.
But would I say that I let it impact my family or anything? No. Did it certainly take up free time I would have spent elsewhere? Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, when you work full time doing this show, then trying to write software and everything else on the thing, and then I'm playing at church and doing all that. I mean, that's a lot to do. So you have to really be diligent about your time. And so what I would say is the time frame of 6 months and a day is really a result of that. I could have, if I would have put two things away and just focused on it, I could shave off 2 months.
Wow. That's pretty. Would you do it again?
Absolutely.
Really?
Different. I mean, it's different. The tools you have now are different. Some of the more frustrating things for me was the artwork aspect of it.
Dude, looking at the graphics of the game, because I've tinkered around with it since you sent it to me, just kind of messing with the introductory puzzle and doing all that stuff. It looks sharp. It looks really sharp. Like I would put it up against, graphic wise, any app game I've seen.
Well, because I'm deliberately didn't put a lot of fluff in there. I just wanted the basic way it looks to be good, right? It was an intentional thing, not I actually came at it a different way at first, and that was like, no, that's going to mess everything up. So but because I'm not an artist and like a digital marketing guru or anything, I relied on like using Photoshop or whatever with conjunction with AI generation to get backgrounds and logos and all that stuff. And that was frustrating too, but like eventually I figured that out and how they got the right prompt in there and finally figured it out. But yeah. I mean, but now those are different. I mean, from where I was to now, that's actually increased quite a bit.
Yeah. Like dude, I'm telling you, like I was like you sent it to me and I was like, oh, line puzzle game. And then I turned the volume up and I turned it on and the music started and I'm messing around and I'm like, wow, this is actually fun. Like this is actually, I could burn a ton of time doing this and it would be a loss for me, not because I was playing the game, but because I would burn a ton of time doing it. Right. So I guess going through everything you went through with this, right? Like all the time you spent, all the effort, a lot of brain cells burnt, all the things you were trying to figure out. If someone else was sitting on an idea for an app, what would you tell them to do with it? How would you tell them to handle it?
Well, what everybody would expect me to say here is like, just go for it. Reach for your dreams. Do what you want to do. But that's not what I'll tell you.
Okay.
Okay. Because just because you have a desire to do something, and you really want to do it doesn't mean you should do it.
Yeah.
I think that's stupid. What I would suggest is like,
do some research probably first.
Well, yeah. I mean, I would probably see, for one, isolate what your goal is. Is it profit? Is it a revenue stream? Or is it just purely for fun, period, dot?
Yeah.
You know, or what for your kids or whatever. I mean, those things matter because if it's for profit or if it's for revenue or something like that, then that it doesn't really matter what you like or not. That's not, you know, unless you do the actual market research and figure it out if that's going to be worth your time or not, then it's pointless, right? If it's just for fun, sure, but you still want to put the research into how. Like if you've never, especially if you've never been around development at all, there's a lot that you really need to understand. Well, I should say need, but that'll help you understand.
Yeah. How
to plan things out, how to even manage the project itself, how, you know, documentation, all these things that no one really tells you about when they say I created an app.
Would you say that you would need to be prepared for costs?
There's
going to be, I mean, there's obviously, if you're serious about it, there's going to be some investment, right?
Well, okay. So I probably, you don't have to, but I went the way because I wanted to make it more legitimate in my frame of view, like doing my own LLC, you know, and bringing all that back up and doing the Duns and Bradstreet numbers and, you know, doing all that stuff costs something. Registering for the Apple Developer Program, or whether it's, you know, Google's Android stuff, platforms and all that kind of crap, that costs something. Those are all memberships, right?
Yeah.
Paying for software or tools to use to do the development or to help you do the development, those cost something, you know. But more the most cost is time, because I'm saying don't skip the research, don't skip how to do things, especially if you haven't done development before. There is a whole bunch of stuff that that'll just pay dividends, you know, when you start doing things.
Okay. Well, that's interesting, dude, because when you first came to me and you were like, man, I'm going to start developing apps, I was like, oh, crap. I was like, that sounds like something that's going to take forever. I was like, but you also realize I'm not a dude that's computer savvy, right? Like I consider myself a very intelligent guy, but there are certain things that I probably should have booted into a long time ago in order to be with where they are. So my first thought was, it's going to be 12 years before we see an app. Like, this is going to take forever. He going to look like Albert Einstein. Beard going to be everywhere. He's just going to be walking around like a zombie. And then all of a sudden at the 6 month mark, you're like, yeah, I released it today. And I'm like, what? I'm like, wait a minute. This has only been 6 months, right? So congratulations, man. It plays well. It does well. I've enjoyed the time I've spent on it. A lot of times, because of all the science that comes from doing those kind of things, it helps with brain health and stuff like that. I kind of enjoy just the challenge of it, right? So, but all right, so now I have something else, Reggie. And I want to go back to something you said to me a while back. We weren't on the show, and I said, man, Reggie, I want to learn to play drums. And you were like, don't. Well, I bought a drum set.
Oh, Lord.
And I bought a very nice electronic drum set. It's actually a higher end, but we found a really good deal with it through Marketplace. It works great. We got it hooked up. I got my stool. I got my favorite drumsticks. So as a musician, because I do consider you a very accomplished musician, I really do. I know I sound like a butt kisser right now, but I've known Reggie for a long time. And dude, the one thing I can tell you about Reggie is if he's going to do something, you better get out of the way because he's going to do it the right way. If that means he's got to roll over you or not. So
it's true.
I'm 51 years old, Reggie.
Yeah.
And as a person who I consider to be very healthy and very, very capable of learning, what would be your advice for me at 51 years old? I'm going to start. You can't say don't start because I've already bought the kit. I've already started learning. I've been watching videos. I even learned the intro to a song. It's not great, but I learned it. What would be your advice for me as a budding drummer wanting to, I don't want to be John Bonham. I just want to be able to play songs.
But the thing is, where you're learning now is so different from how it used to be.
Yeah.
Like when, I was coming up into stuff, it was just, you were just listening to records and trying to play the records. And you would say like, man, that lick was cool. What is it? And you would like just over and over and over again, listen to it and try to play it.
Yeah.
And that's really how you learned most of the stuff. Jazz was a little different because I had like, some, basic understanding of reading music and stuff, so I could like see how they played it. But I guess I was saying like today you have so much stuff.
Well, like Drumeo, man. Like I've got a subscription to Drumeo. It's free, and they put up a weekly lesson.
Right, that's a totally
different professional drummers.
Yeah,
like and it's really an interactive thing, right?
We had these play along things, right? They was like, well, this will date it. Cassette, you send you a cassette tape with a workbook.
Yeah.
Like buy my play along, right? And it would just be, and you would read how they did it or whatever, and you'd listen to the thing and try to play with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, nowadays, man, they got people just sitting there going, hold the drumsticks like this, do this, and all this. I mean, it's crazy how much is out there. So what, listen to a lot of music you like and would want to play. Listen to it a lot, but what I would say is critically listen, what they call critical listening, and that is like really focusing on, for you, drum parts. Where did they place the kick drum? Where did they put the snare drum? How are they doing the hi-hats or ride or whatever? How are they doing their phrasing? Is that part louder or softer? Where did they put a fill in? How did whatever? Those are all things that you probably should be listening to now if you're trying to learn how to do it. But you're not going to want to just jump into just Bonham, like you said.
Well, I know you got to learn like rhythms and how to hold your sticks and how to properly strike your drum heads and all that stuff, which I've been watching videos on that too, how to make sure you're making proper contact, right? Because from what I understand, a lot of drummers, they get to flailing and they'll actually miss drums trying to do this kind of heavy metal like freak out thing. Well, they're doing their thing. And I want to learn how to basically play the drums before I do even attempt any of that. So,
but you have the only downside about the electronic kit is you can't tell.
What do you mean?
You can't tell how you hit that drum. The sensor's gonna pick that up, and all you can do is tell how the sensor picked up you hitting it.
So I can basically cheat, is what you're saying.
Yeah, you don't have anything to really give you a good idea of like. There's a difference between if a real great drummer hits a drum versus some dude off the street just picking up a stick and hitting a drum, sounds different.
Yeah. Well, I also realize like on cymbals, like there are different spots you can strike a cymbal on a regular drum set and you'll get different resonance of sound from where you've hit that cymbal.
Yes.
Whereas on the electronic drum kit, if I want to get something where I'm really got like a splashy cymbal, I have to put that setting into my electronic thing for me to make it want to make that sound, right? Like that's why I've got this soundboard, this board in front of me where I can control. It's got an output going to each drum, and I can change. I can change them to like marimbas. I can change them to, you know what I'm saying? Like you can do all these different drums. Right now, I've just got it set to basic drum, like basic cymbals, basic hi-hat, basic everything. Okay, so how often should one play if one wants to make progress? Because I've heard everything from the dumb thing, play 15 minutes a day for a year and you'll be better than 95% of the world. I don't know what percentage of the world actually plays drums well, so I can't really put any stock into that. I mean, I can't say it's a bad idea to play every day, but I can't say that you know.
No, okay. From a guy who went to music school and studied music performance.
Yeah.
You play as much as you can.
As often as you can.
But practice well is also a thing. When you first started playing, though, it's not really that you don't even know how to practice. You got to figure all that out.
Yeah. Like for me, right now, it's a lot of figuring out like how I'm going to move behind the drum kit. Like,
sure.
Like, cause I've had to adjust drums and, well, I'm not striking this drum well at this angle. So I got to pull this drum out and I got to change positions and, I need my cymbals to be higher.
Yeah.
So it just depends on, I'm now figuring all that out to where I'm comfortable behind the kit.
But I'm saying that's still different than if you were behind a real drum kit.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
But again, you play as much as you can, as often as you can. And you eventually learn how to practice well. Not just practice, but practice well. That's a different thing too. Because at first you're just trying to figure out, you're just trying to get the movement. Your body's just trying to freaking learn this, how to move and where your arms are going to go, your legs are going to go, all this stuff. And you're just trying to get that down. That's a whole thing. Once you get into like learning and you get kind of sort of comfortable moving and where your body's going to go in a sense, it's all about then, okay, now I'm the rhythm bed of everything.
Yeah.
How do I do that? And then you got to figure out, okay, bass drum, kick, bass drum, kick, bass drum. Okay. Okay. And you do all that. And I will always play with a metronome.
Okay. So tell me what is helpful about a metronome.
Because that keeps the metronome the more you practice with a metronome, the better you get to keeping to a metronome. There's people who are really, really good at, they can really tick at, be exact with their time. Mm-hmm. And there's people who are terrible at it.
But I would say that even the people who are good at that, it takes time to become that, right?
Yeah.
And practice.
I mean, there's an innate, obviously, look, all of this has levels of talent that is there that, could be starting off at a different point or have a different window or whatever, just like any athlete would. Music's no different. So with the metronome, though, it just allows you to it just makes sure you have a steady beat there that keeps you in time. The more you do that starting off, the better off later on you're going to be when you don't have it around.
Okay, so here's the question. What do you think my odds are?
Bro, I have no idea.
I'm a pretty coordinated
odds are
dude
what? I mean,
of becoming a decent drummer. Not a great drummer, just a decent drummer.
Well, you're okay.
I'm a pretty coordinated dude. I'm pretty good with beats and rhythms.
Okay, but that's all subjective, bro.
Yeah.
It doesn't. You're saying decent drummer. My idea of a decent drummer is not what your idea of
dude,
a decent
guys,
drummer.
I encourage you. What was the name of your last music project that you and your brothers did?
Oh, I just was on the song of theirs, the We Came From Stars.
We Came From Stars. You need to look that up because Reggie be getting his drum on, and he be getting his drum on real good. It's very good. I actually still listen to it. It's saved in my YouTube stuff. And sometimes I'll just crank me some Reggie playing the drums. And so I do get that statement, like a decent drummer to you as opposed to just a decent drummer to anyone is going to be a different definition.
Yeah, but it even changes between what you're talking about decent. Like I don't have a level of decent drummer. I just have like, he played that song really awesome. I liked how he played it. Yeah.
Just so you guys know, I even offered Reggie to be my instructor, and I got a resounding hell no.
No. No.
So, but it's good that you have people in your life that you can go to advice to, right? You're not only is he a brilliant computer dude, he's an app creator, he's a drummer. Soon he smokes fine meats. You do. Your brisket's pretty bomb. Like it's rare that I run into a brisket that can compete. He ate my glazed chicken donut sandwich, which I'm not sure that's a brag so much as just a dude doing a dude a favor.
Except that it's actually a thing. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Where was that? Where did I send you that? It was from Dunkin', wasn't it?
Yeah.
Dunkin' chicken bacon sandwich or donut chicken bacon sandwich.
I did not do it justice. So let's just let it die there. It was awful in ways that are indescribable. But anyway, so what else, Reg?
No, that's pretty much it, man. I mean, the thing is, what I would encourage people to do is no matter how old you are, don't just give up and don't try.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like with me, it was just a thing where technology started lining up with that I found. I'm like, you know what? I could probably do something with that. Right. It wasn't. And I thought, well, I better just go with it if I'm going to try to do anything.
Yeah.
You know, now for me, I had iPhones and iPads, right? And I'm like, and I can't violate so I still work for my company, and my company has competitive contractual stuff. So in other words, I can't go do and develop my own things of similar. There's a whole thing. So I wanted to really stay away from that. And one of the things was, well, I could do like a mobile app, and I already had pain points of things, right? And it was like, well, how am I going to do that? And whatever. And so look, that all became around because of AI. And my experience with AI while I was going through all that Manjaro nonsense led me to like, oh, okay, I can actually use AI.
So what you're saying is God may have had a purpose.
God always has a purpose.
Thing with Manjaro.
I don't, no one can point to me and say whether that was or wasn't. I'm just saying that from my standpoint, theologically and just how I think the world works and spiritual works, God was all about that.
Yeah.
And he led me from there into doing this, into the how it moves so fast and everything else was all his work.
Yeah.
So yeah, he gets all the glory for everything. But and that's the thing. I'm trying to. I don't even know here's the thing. All inspiration comes from God. Your creative spark is not something in my look. That's because of our worldview. Don't have a hissy fit. It all comes from him. So like when I get a spark of inspiration to do this, do that, it's from him somehow. Now, whether or not it's supposed to come to fruition or whatever, if that's just an idea. But the whole point is Red Beard Foundry has I have so many things in the pipeline. Yeah. So Line Forge was just the first thing I could just do and get it out of the way and just run through the whole process. There's a lot more behind it. Yeah. Okay, let me say this too about Line Forge. The one thing I don't want to do is have this ad crazy, really annoying microtransactions or something like that in anything I do. Right. So Line Forge has a few banner ads on the bottom, and after a solve, you get a video. But it's not. I left it minimal. I really did, so that it's just you don't feel like it's overwhelming.
Yeah, because a lot of these games, you make one move, there's 3 videos.
Yeah, it's not like that.
It's stupid.
It's not like that. Yeah. And it's $5. I made it $5 to get rid of all the ads. One time fee. Period. Done.
Yeah.
So if you really like the game, and the ads bother you, then pay the $5. You're fine.
If you don't pay the $5.
Now the next projects though, so the next one, I say next one, the one I'm focusing on next is the workout app.
Okay.
And that'll also be an iOS app.
Tell us a little bit about that.
I don't want to get too deep into that.
Don't get too deep. Just give us kind of a surface glance.
Because, I just want to say that there's a lot of problems with workout apps. There's a lot of missing.
Absolutely, bro. As someone who has probably gone through all of them, a lot of them are garbage unless you're willing to pay an exorbitant amount of money. And even the paid versions are very limited.
Well, say for instance, they have logging, right? Some of them do, but it's really weird how they do it. I've tried to load up a few of them. Like for instance, we have the water rower here, Sunny Fit Bike, and both of those have an app, and you do your workout based on that app. I'm not trying to take that place.
Yeah.
What I want to do though is be able to take the information that they give, and I can input it into the workout app, so you can log it with your other workouts.
Yeah.
So that's one pain point, right? The other is you can't really have a good way to go back and look at like do a mixed workout routine where maybe you sprinted for 200 meters and then you picked up the kettlebells and then you did, jumping jacks or whatever. It's stuff like that. Like when you're doing all these cross different exercises, there's a lot of I don't know. I don't think any app does the cross.
Well, and I think workout design is broken in some of them too, because a lot of them are just purely AI driven and they have no input. They're just, here's an AI, tell it what you want. Even in Claude, I just as a kind of an experiment, you wouldn't believe all the stuff that I've put in Claude after our last episode for it to understand. Like I've literally changed that every day. I add every day.
I told you.
But when I told Claude, I said, look, because I have an idea and I'm working on it. You're very inspirational, dude. Like I've got an idea at this point, and I'm gonna see how far I can take it. As I have a theory that there's a specific type of workout that we can do that keeps people in that 45 to 50 minute range that combines compound movements with functional training so that you get the most out of every workout and you get a higher cardio rate, yet you work on baseline strength as well, right? And I'm working on that mix. Well, I've been messing with Claude trying to get me to help me do that. And a lot of times I don't even think he has a very grounded understanding of like transmission from exercise to exercise and the basics of what you're doing as far as timing and what your rest period should be. Because my idea is to set it up where it is a measurable, chewable piece of workout that anyone can do. And you can accelerate it if you want to, but when you first get started, it's not super complex, but it does involve, hip pivot, all that stuff, along with a compound movement to give you familiarity in a weight room. Like a lot of guys are familiar in the weight room, but they're not familiar with functional movement. So I'm working on this routine where I can put together something where, like, say, just an example would be like you want to do Monday, we're going to do chest. So we'll do 2 solid, heavier compound chest movements. Let's say incline dumbbell press, flat bench press. And then you're going to go into a compound chest movement that involves some movement in the arms and shoulders. And then we're going to finish you off with a cardio level of movement after that. And that way you're getting your strength training, you're getting your cardio training, you're getting your functional training, and you're able to fit it in a time frame that's reasonable.
Okay.
But Claude just fights me, dude. Like he fights me a lot of times, and it's like being in the room. It's like being in a room with someone who's intentionally antagonizing you, yet they're not really intentionally antagonizing you, because a lot of the stuff he wants to fight me on, like, well, why would you do this? Well, the why is not the point, bro. Just put it in there. Like I'll do the workouts myself and I'll figure out if they're functionally correct. But I don't want Claude arguing with me, but he does, because you told me, tell him to, and it's part of it. But so let's talk about, just for a second, let's talk about the inspiration for just Red Beard Foundry. Like, tell me about Red Beard in the general sense, where you got to this point where you were like, hey man, I can make this like a multi-pronged thing. I can do a workout app. I can do a line game. I can do, this, that, and the other. How did you what brought you to that point?
I think it was just really where I'm at in my life, man. I mean, when I went through all that Monjaro stuff, which I've gone through in detail here.
Yeah.
That triggered this immense amount of like catch up in my brain to like, just, it was just firing off the clock. Right. But it occurred to me though, that there's a lot of things I can do now that would be less of a burden on my family than it was previously.
Yeah.
So one of the big things about why Red Beard Foundry exists is because it was a way for me to do my own thing, be creative, have a leadership role that I can that I can kind of influence my, worldview out in the technology space and just be me. So because you got to understand, I've been under corporate IT stuff in corporate America for so long, and seen all kinds of stupid stuff, and it's just so annoying, and it's definitely not what I am. It's definitely not where I align with. I don't. So like being able to have something that allows me to express myself and my beliefs and just who I am and put it out there in a technology space is really where that landed. And the only reason why is just because AI got to the point where I realized this is a tool and I learned how to use the tool, and I was like, I can actually make something happen. Because long before I even got my own MacBook, and long before I even said I'm going to give this a go, I was running some theories and stuff through AI to see if I could do things and whatever. And I was like, man, I can make a go of this. So that's what it is. I've always had a desire to do my own thing. I am a very independent guy when it comes to things. It's hard for me to fall in the corporate structure, but I've learned how to do that. And even then, I'm not your cookie cutter, gold star corporate, citizen. I will argue with you. I don't keep my mouth shut. I don't say the right, I
don't think you and I either one are that person.
No. And so like, at the end of the day, I've just been good at what I've done so far and been able to lead people to successful completions and like have actually made like huge projects, huge revenue numbers of success because of stuff I did that I've earned my like,
your right to argue.
Yeah. And so, but I digress. The whole point is it's just a way for me to have something that's mine in the technology space that I can make whatever I'm going to make it. And I don't care, like, sure, I want it to be like uber successful and I want to grow it and all that kind of stuff. But at the same token, I'm just happy to be doing something that's my own.
Well, as a friend, as someone who cares about you, bro, I hope it kills. I really do. I hope it blows up. I hope it is everything you want it to be. Part of this whole thing where my clarity's gotten better is I've spent a ton more time in prayer, like a ton. Like I spend a lot of time talking to God. I've even been at points where I'm like, I begin by saying, all right, Lord, I know I prayed like 12 minutes ago and you're probably tired of hearing me, but I got something else I need to tell you. I got something else I need to give you. And you've been a big part of those prayers, man, because I know that you've been trying to do all this so that you can have your own thing. And that's been a big kind of thing for me is, Jordan Peterson said something that I'm going to kind of play off of and stay with me for a second. He said, you always want to be the strongest guy at your father's funeral. But I also think a goal of ours should be the strongest support for your true friends, right? Like the true people that invest in your life and that you happy. And dude, I do, man. I'm in your corner. I hope you are the next Christian, non-moronic version of Bill Gates. I really do. Like, I really do, man. I pray that success has a profound impact on people's spirituality, their souls. As a matter of fact, I'm really excited about us getting back to talking about some spiritual things because I feel like spiritually I'm on fire right now, and I really have some insights that I want to share. But I want nothing more. Not just you, man. I've got friends out there, Matt. You know who you are. That I pray for constantly because I want their success to be on a level. I pray so much that I want my friends to be able in the middle of dinner to be like, stop for a second. I think Brian's praying. Like he's like, again, like I can hear him. He's humming. What's going on? And I do. I wish massive success for you.
Well, part of, along that lines, Red Beard Foundry was started because it was a mechanism that said, you know what, maybe I can get some kind of financial means to help support something else.
Yeah.
Whether that be a church or whatever. That's another reason to do Red Beard Foundry, actually, was to support that.
I'm kicking around an idea too, on top of that, about getting a group of men together. I mean, it would probably start organically and doing a workout and then having a testimony or a word after the workout to power those men up and send them out into the world. And I have this thing that keeps rotating in my head, the Iron Church, right? Like the Iron Church just keeps spinning in Brian's head.
That's okay, man. When I make a mint and I have my Red Beard Foundry HQ with the Iron Church down in the first floor, you'll be there.
I know, and it's going to be fire because you do everything well. So, but anyway, Reggie, thank you for talking to me, bro. Like I know that you're not an ego dude in that way. So it's probably was not the easiest thing for you to get on here and talk about some of these things because you don't. I mean, you're like me. Like I kind of just grind in silence and see what I can get done. And I definitely talk to my friends about the things I'm thinking about and doing, but I'm not out here on a bullhorn trying to convince everybody that I'm doing the right thing. So it's hard to talk about those things sometimes, right?
I mean, dude, I'm an arrogant bastard sometimes, bro. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'll tell you. Yeah. I mean, come on.
I'll say this. You're not that with me.
Well, I know.
But I think you and I have been around each other, known each other long enough where we're all both like, whatever, dude.
Well, I've been around long enough to learn not to be that way, too. I mean,
true.
I was a narcissistic dumbass when I was in,
We all were.
Yeah. I mean, but not all of us grow out of that, dude.
So here, let's talk about this. You can line up any dude, and some of them still are, you're right. Some of them are 50-year-old boneheads that really just run me ragged.
Yep.
But every man has gone through that part of life where it was all about him.
Yeah.
And now it's all about him. So they're just a natural development, man. And I'm really I am, dude. And if you guys are listening, you pray. I would love for you to pray. We're starting a discipleship program tomorrow, and it's going to be like nothing we've ever seen. We're actually talking about building circles of discipleship in our communities, not in our church. So going out and going into our circles of influence and doing discipleship amongst the people that are not standing inside the four walls, because we're not worried about making members of churches. We're worried about making believers in Christ. Members of churches will come along behind it. I'm excited about it for the first time in a long time, man. I've got a couple of things kind of hopping in the hopper that I'm a little excited about as they develop, man. I just want to, but anyway, all the success, brother, that I can wish for you, all the success. So
cool.
All right. Well, I'm Brian.
I'm Reggie.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.